Hello and good day I bid to you. So today we will be discovering the physics behind the game of snooker, in which it includes the concept of elastic collision in momentum and kinematics in 2 dimensions. This video includes the result of our study case to learn more about the application of physics in daily life. The team members that has worked together for this assignment includes Lukman, Krista, Sofia, Natalie, Kabinesh, Akit, Rufnata, Nazrul, and Hafizuddin.
So now, let's move on to the case study and question. The question is, a billiard ball moving at 5 meters per second collides perfectly elastically with an identical ball at rest. The moving ball is deflected at angle of 40 degrees from its original position. Find the speeds of the balls after the collision. In this case, the cue ball, which is the white color, moving to the right with the speed of 5 meters per second and hit the targeted ball, which is at rest. There are two main concepts and theory that we apply in our case study. The first one is momentum. In elastic collision, the total momentum before collision is equal to the momentum after collision, and the kinetic energy is also conserved in elastic collision. All of this can be calculated using the given formula. The second one, kinematics in 2 dimensions. Kinematics in 2 dimensions states that we need to separate the vector component into x and y components using the formula given. The objective of this case study is to analyze the concept of elastic collision in momentum. Next, to understand the concept of kinematics in 2 dimensions. And last but not least, to calculate and determine the final velocity of the cue ball after hitting the targeted ball using the law of conservation of momentum and kinematics in 2 dimensions.
Now, before we proceed with our calculations, let's look at this simulation for the better understanding on how the collision between the balls works. In this case, when the cue ball hits the targeted ball, which is initially at rest, it experiences a 2-dimensional motion with a certain angle. Now, let's move on to the calculation part. In this case, since it is a snooker ball, we assume that both the ball has the same masses. For a clearer viewing, I have labeled the cue ball as ball A and the targeted ball as ball B. Hence, mass of ball A and ball B is equals to m. According to some researchers and long theories taken from the few sources, it is concluded that when two objects have same masses and experiences 2-dimensional motion, the summation of angle should be 90 degrees. Hence, we are given that the ball A moves 40 degrees above the horizontal axis and the direction of ball should be 50 degrees below x-axis. Now, we are halfway done. To make things less complicated, let's separate this equation into two different components. Focusing in the momentum along x-axis, we can use the principle of conservation of momentum, where the momentum before collision is equals to the momentum after the collision. We take MVA cos 40 and MVB cos 50 on the right hand side because there are the only forces acting parallel to the x-axis. Since all the masses are the same, we can cancel them out. And it is given that the initial velocity of ball A is 5, and since ball B is at rest initially, the speed should be 0. Hence, we can simplify them into the first equation. Now, moving on to the momentum along y-axis. It is the same process as the previous one, but there are some slight changes in the initial momentum before collision because there are no upward motion or motion along y-axis. Thus, it should be 0. And on the right hand side of the equation, we subtract momentum of ball A and ball B as it is moving in the opposite direction. After simplifying the equation, we can obtain the second equation as well. Finally, using the first and second equation, we can do simultaneous equation to find the velocity of each balls, which is 3.213 meter per second and 3.83 meter per second respectively. And finally, the question is answered.
Therefore, it can be concluded that everything around us is related by physics. Thus, it is crucial to study and analyze the concept of physics in each of the situations to get a deeper understanding of the forces and motion. This case study leads people to understand and study the effect of 2-dimensional momentum of an object, as well as analyzing the collision between objects and understanding the relationship between momentum before a collision and momentum after a collision. Apart from that, it is concluded that collision that occurs in two-dimensional motion should be divided into horizontal and vertical components respectively. This study case was done with the assist of other sources as reference stated at the bottom. That is all from us. Thank you for your time and have a great day ahead.